How to create a debit memo. What is a debit memo? In this module, you will be able to record the return of goods to suppliers for several reasons, like damages and items that may not meet the required specification, or other deductions from the vendor's outstanding balances. How do you create a debit memo? From the main menu, go to Vendors and select Debit Memo. At the upper right side of the window, click Create. Fill in the necessary information. Please note that all the fields with an asterisk are required to create the debit memo, while those without the asterisk are optional information. Reference number. Select the prefix if applicable, then provide the reference number or use the auto-numbering suggestion by the system. Please note, prefixes for debit memo can be set up from the miscellaneous settings. Date is where you'll fill in the date of return or deduction. Select the supplier of the items from the list. Return authorization. Fill in the authorized person who will approve the transactions. Accounts payable has been set as the default account upon the creation of your vendor in the vendor list. This will automatically appear when selecting the vendor. After providing the header details, you can now provide the details for the items in the Invoice tab or Services in Expense tab. If the return is related to a supply invoice or receive inventory not yet paid, go to Invoice tab. If the debit memo is related to a receive inventory already paid in full or in partial, go to the Expense tab. Expense tab is where you will record all other deductions not related to your supplier invoices. For Invoice tab, take note of the following. Select the Receive Inventory number of the item returned. Then select a specific item that is returned from the product list and fill in the quantity of the returned items. After that, in your GL account, you may select cost of sales or other accounts that you use to record returns and other deductions. If you wish to add more items to return, click the new line. For Expense tab, observe the following. If the debit memo is related to a returned item, select a specific item that is returned from the product list. Fill in the quantity of the returned items and price. If the debit memo is for other deductions, you may fill in the description field and amount. After that, in your GL account, you may select cost of sales or other accounts that you use to record the returns and other deductions. To add more, click New Line. At the bottom part, you'll see the subtotal, total discount, total VAT, and overall total. Lastly, input applicable remarks. Then click Save and select a saving option. Save and close if you want to save a transaction and no longer wish to create a new debit memo. Save and New if you wish to save a transaction and create a new debit memo. Save and Print if you wish to save a transaction and print it. Save and Attach if you wish to save a transaction and attach a supporting document to it. You have just created your debit memo.